The following is a presentation of TFNN.
Sylvester Stallone knew his whole life what he wanted to do. For him, it was a chance to inspire others. Life wasn't easy. At birth, he was pulled out by forceps. It's why he looks and speaks the way he does. 1,500 agents said, "No, you're not an actor." His first 3 scenes led to nothing, but he never gave up. Sly sold his first script, Paradise Alley, for $100. That money didn't last long. The last thing he had left was his dog. He got $25. That was rock bottom. He cried, and soon after, watched a fight between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Webner. Webner went 15 rounds but was pounded to a pulp. It inspired Sly, and he wrote for 20 hours straight the entire Rocky movie. Tried to sell it, but nobody wanted it. Too predictable, too sappy. Sly saved those comments and read them to himself the night he won the Oscar. Sly never gave up. One day, 2 guys offered to buy the script for $125,000. Sly said with one condition, "I'm Rocky." "No way. We need a star like Ryan O'Neal to play Rocky." Can you imagine? The same guys called him back and offered him $250,000 not to star in his own movie. Sly said no. They countered with $325,000. Sly said no. They compromised. $35,000, points in the movie, and Sly would play Rocky. Rocky has grossed over $225 million and the entire franchise over $1 billion. What's your Rocky moment, folks? What's your vision? Your unstoppable success? You were born to be a money master. The time is now to take massive action.
Let's go over to Don in Odessa, Florida. Don, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
Hey, Steve. Thank you.
You bet. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm a subscriber to your service, and I just want to let you know that I sure do appreciate what you've done for me.
Wow. Thank you very, very much.
The Trader's Edge with your host, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters out there. Welcome to the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and thanks so much for joining me. I absolutely love being here with you, and it is terrific Tuesday. Hopefully you're off to a great start of your day. If you're not, just simply change it, because you can have an awesome day, an extraordinary day. And thanks so much for starting it here with TFNN. You know, we've got a great lineup today, as we do each and every Tuesday. Today, you've got the Money Master Show with Tom and I. Following this show, then we go all the way out to Santa Fe, New Mexico. We go to Kate Stalter. Then I believe we go up to Chicago to Victor Jones for the Options Hour. And then from 3 to 4, all the way back out to California. You talk about crisscrossing the United States. We go back out to California to Ken Shreve. And then all the way back here from 4 to 6 for the Tom O'Brien Show. Markets relatively, flat today. You've got most of the world markets are closed. Our futures happen to be relatively flat. You got the Dow futures up about 9. The ES Mini dead even Steven. 1393.50 is what it's trading out at right now. The NASDAQ futures off just a bit. King dollar pulling back about 9 ticks, and the gold contract up 550. You can always give us a call here, 877-927-6648. Yesterday was a fantastic day. It was, It's Marvelous Monday, right? And it was absolutely a marvelous day. We had visits from Dave in Texas. So we had a Tiger stop by. He came over to Suite 618. If you are ever in the Clearwater area, it doesn't matter to me whether you live down here or whether you are visiting in the Clearwater area, please stop by and see us. We'd absolutely love to just shake your hand and say hello, maybe give you a hug. We prefer to give hugs out there. And so I do want to say thank you to Dave for stopping by and just spending a little bit of time with us. It's always great, to meet and greet the folks that are listening to us. You can learn so much, actually, just simply by listening. And it was Marvelous Monday. I just happened to take a little stroll. And, what I found out is yesterday there was, if you caught any of the music that was playing beforehand, it was from the band Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Well, Greg Lake happened to be in town yesterday, so I took a little stroll down the street. We've got this great theater here in downtown Clearwater. It's called the Capitol Theater. It's been there forever and a day, and when you look inside, you can tell, but it's got some nice, comfortable seats. It's a very quaint place, and, the first time that I saw Emerson, Lake and Palmer, folks, was, I think, 1972, maybe dating myself just a little bit. And but yes, it was great. It was just a solo concert, just with Greg Lake. You might want to check it out if he is, if you are even just a slightly a little bit of a fan of their music, or King Crimson, if you're just a little bit of a fan, I would just simply go online. I would check it out, because I would recommend going to see that concert. Really a great concert. Different, very unique concert from the standpoint that it wasn't really just all about music. There was actually a portion there where it was just a matter of just a conversation with the audience. Just really talking about life's journey. And he just simply opened up the mic, had a couple mics in the audience to pass it around, and just simply, ask questions back and forth. And when I sat back to really, take a look at it, it was actually a very, very cool thing. You didn't have the normal questions, like, what was your, what's your favorite song, or, who's your favorite artist, things of that sort. A little bit more introspective, a little bit more about the, the journey of life, the journey that each of us are on. If you're here listening right now within an earshot of this program, you're supposed to be here for a reason. Maybe it's because I'm going to teach you something today. That's why we offer our show also on Tiger TV. You can go to the homepage at tfnn.com. You can click on the Tiger TV button over on the right-hand side of the homepage. I believe there's still a little bit of a red bordered box area where you can download the link. You can put it on your iPhone, your Android device, your iPad, whatever you've got out there, so that we're just one click away from being able to actually visually see what's going on. And visual, and when you can combine visual and audio, folks, that's how you really learn. I'm going to share with you charts right now. I've got the ES Mini up on my screen. Again, it's relatively flat, so we're going to talk about a little bit more than just that, because actually yesterday, really, last night, got me in the mood of, it's really a little bit about being a little bit deeper and understanding, your journey. Each of you are on a journey. Hopefully, part of that journey is being able, take a look at my life. Absolutely about a journey. First started out with regard to fundamental investing. That meant, scanning papers, reading all kinds of articles, getting caught up in news, taking a look at SEC filings, whatever it was that I could get my hands on. And then I learned that wonderful world of technical analysis. Not that you shouldn't be, thinking about fundamentals. It was interesting yesterday about Monster Beverage. I used to trade that stock. It wasn't MNSTR or whatever the ticker symbol was. It used to be something else, and they changed over. I used to trade that. In fact, I was trading that when I met Tom, when I attended my first Master Trader course. And it wasn't the first time that they've had rumors out there about a buyout. I happened to be in it the last time when there was a rumor, and it lasted a little bit more than 4 or 5 hours, and so that was a beautiful thing. Yesterday maybe a little bit more harmful to those folks that certainly at least jumped into that stock. And so, but when you take a look at the journey that each of us are on, I've had a couple of questions. So I'm going to show you a couple things today. One of the things yesterday I talked about the planetary index date. So I'm going to show you that. But one of the questions that I've been asked a couple times by email is I wear a necklace. Maybe some of you have seen it. The actual coin that is around my neck here, it's over 300-year-old Chinese coin. Now, inscribed on it is live with passion. Of course, you probably could have figured that out just simply by either listening to me, or if you've had a chance to meet me, maybe you've attended one of our workshops that we've done. You know that the way you do anything is the way you do everything. I am this way no matter what. It is a great way to live. But what happened, folks, because each of us will run into hurdles in our lives. You're going to run into a roadblock. It's just simply, the universe is just absolutely on a continuous basis, always testing you to see if you really want what it is that you want. If you really want to understand technical analysis, then there are so many tools, so many individuals like myself, Tom, Basil, David, Larry, Ken Shreve, you name it, Kate, so many folks that are willing to teach you, train you, offer, whether it's newsletter services, whether it's master trade, whatever type of programming, or just simply re-listening to the courses out here. But we're all very passionate about what it is that we do. But that doesn't mean that each of us haven't had to overcome hurdles, just like you. That's what we have in common. Well, metaphors are really important. And so for me, there was a stage in my life where I took a look at what were the things that were stopping me from propelling me forward. And what I realized was there were certain things in my life where it felt like there was a noose around my neck. I don't know if any of you have ever had that experience. For me, it was actually visual. When I came upon these certain instances, and they would appear in my life almost every day during that time period, it felt as if there was a noose around my neck. It would actually stop me from making the decisions that I needed to make in order to propel myself forward, in order to have that emotion, because emotion is nothing more than progress. You get rid of the E, and it's all about motion. And I happened to be at and it was always right there in front of me, just like all this is really right here in front of you folks. And what was interesting is that what I realized is I was at a seminar. It was more than a seminar; it was a workshop. It was like a 5-day workshop, and I was at this workshop. And what I realized was that I needed to replace the noose around my neck with something else. And this is what I replaced it with. Now, it's called a muse or something like that. I don't even, I'm not that much into jewelry, as you can pretty much tell. And so what I did was I replaced that noose around my neck with something that said live with passion. And once I did that, folks, it just simply lifted everything. I never felt again. I've never felt again since that day. I wear this nearly every day. I don't, wear it when I'm sleeping or what have you. But there's a little bit more meaning behind it than just that. But what you want to be able to do is replace the BS, the Before Steve stuff in your life. And you want to be able to replace it with something that's going to be able to propel you forward. So it was kind of cool because that actually, when I went to last night's concert where Greg Lake was playing, and he was just simply getting a little bit deeper with the audience. Maybe there was only about 400 people there at max. I don't even think there were 400 people at the show. So it was pretty intimate, and it was really very, very cool. And so if I can pass along anything to you, it is replace those things that are holding you back in your life with some better metaphor. Maybe it'll be something like this. If you've got a noose around your neck, you go find something where you can turn that into something that will propel you forward. Now, if we go take a look at this, we'll talk about propelling you forward here. See, how many minutes do I have? Not much. I got a minute. So let's just take a look at the markets here, and then we come back. Maybe we'll take a look at what's popping and what's dropping. And then after the market open, I'm going to show you, I talked yesterday about the 2 planetary index dates. So I'm going to show you the study. My clients see this, each and every day. We talk about it when I do my live webcast. It's a 1-hour training session that we do every other week on Wednesdays, and that gets archived. So like in my newsletter, for example, there's about 20-plus hours worth of education or training in there to really help you take your trading to another gear, or maybe to be able to teach you something that you didn't realize that was out there, because it really is all about the patterns. But we take a look at the patterns that are out there. If we're taking a look at the ES Mini here right now, what you can see yesterday, we talk about, or I speak about, these Fibonacci retracement and expansions. And if you just simply take a look at the last swing point that was out there on the ES Mini, came in here was a hammer candle, happened to be a hammer candle. Okay, we'll talk a little about that today as well. Came in at 3:30 in the morning on the 27th. Well, if you just go from that low up to the high that was actually put in here at 9:30 in the morning on the 27th, you'll see the number of 1390. Maybe you won't see it, but you'll see this little red line here. That happens to be the 0.786 retracement of this entire move. Well, where did the ES Mini trade down to yesterday? Folks, it traded down to a low of 1389.75. 1389.75 versus 1390. You got to love that. You want to understand these Fibonacci retracement and expansion numbers, folks, and everything else in your life. Replace the BS, the Before Steve stuff, with something a little bit more powerful. We'll be right back, folks.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume and the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shree's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of The Money Game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back, 877-927-6648. And I do love looking at the stars. And apparently, and the best place to look at stars, folks, it is over in Hawaii. Kona is not a bad place to look at stars. And, apparently there's a lot of folks looking at stars and going to the Kona Grill. KONA is the ticker symbol. They're out with earnings, and they are, folks, they're trading up a good 11, almost 12% in the pre-market. They closed out at $6.73 last night. They are trading out at $7.52. So people are liking the Kona Grill. I didn't realize they had so many restaurants out there, but what do I know? In fact, food, folks, apparently no matter what is going on in the world today, there is no problem with the restaurants out there, because you got P.F. Chang's, PFCB. They're out also with earnings. It might have been after the market or before the market this morning. I don't recall which one. But they're up a nice whopping 30%. They closed out at $39.69, trading out at $51.60. Good Lord. I don't know about you. P.F. Chang's is, it's okay. It's not my, let's just say I'm not going to pull off the side of the road to go over to P.F. Chang's, but apparently everybody else is. They're just leaving Steve behind, but their total revenues, $318 million versus $317. What are these guys being bought out? Oh, yes, there we go. They're agrees to be acquired by Centerbridge Partners for $51.50 a share. That made sense. I couldn't figure out what is with all these restaurants. Chipotle, I can't really get that, 2 days in a row. You got to cut me a little slack here, but you do have Kona Grill. They're up, as I say, 13%. Now, what I do have up on my screen here is the Nikkei. You only had a couple of markets really open last night, and so you've got the Nikkei. They were down here. They traded down 169 points, and we'll certainly, we're taking a look at that on the daily chart. Now, what's important to take a look at on the daily chart of the Nikkei is it now is in a B, C, D down. I don't have the volume on the Nikkei. Maybe when Tom is in here, we can take a look at that, but you just simply close below the swing point from April the 11th. The low on that swing point was 93.8814. You closed out at 93.5095. They are going to be closed, I believe, for the next couple of days. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe at some point in time here, the Nikkei is closing down in observance of a holiday over in Japan. And what you are taking a look at is an ABC down. Now, the ABC down, not much of a retracement here, but the ABC down, folks, on the Nikkei, we're watching the Nikkei closely because we want to get in on some trades, are going to likely take the Nikkei down into the 8,003 area. But let's go continue just while we have a few minutes here. Let's take a look at what is popping and what is dropping. So popping, the top performer out there, PLXT Technologies, that must be a buyout as well, definitive. Yep, they closed out at $3.98. They are closing, let's see here, they're trading out at $6.57, up 65%. You've got, we said PF change, Cascade Microtech, CSCD, up 19% in the pre-market. They closed out at $4.95. You've got Kona Grill. I mentioned that. Let's take a look at, you've got CYNO. CYNO up about 11% in the, and Sinosure is the name. Their earnings, let's see here, and I probably should pull it over. I've got a minute left. I won't do that. I apologize for not looking into the camera here. Usually I just pull this screen over onto my other screen here. Why doesn't this pull over? Well, okay. So we're not going to do that. Let's go take a look at, let's see, you've got Huntsman Corp, HUN. They are trading up about 9% in the pre-market. You got Shutterfly, SFLY. That's from an industry that I used to be in. They're up 10% this morning. General Cable, BGC, they're up as well. Let's go take a look at what is leading on the downside here. So what's pulling things down? You got Quinn Street, QNST. They're off 15% this morning. Last trade just fired off at 887. They closed out at 1051. You've got Integrated Device Technology, IDTI. They're down 12%. They closed out at 678. Their last trade firing off at 595. Genco, or Genco, Genco Shipping. GNK is the ticker symbol there. They're trading down 11% this morning. They closed out at 535. Their last trade just fired off here at 476. Posers out there. POZN is the ticker symbol. They're down 9%. You got WMS Industries. Oh, Domino's Pizza taking it, getting a little pepperoni, maybe a little bit too many pepperonis last night. They're having a little indigestion this morning. Domino's Pizza, DPZ, they're down 10%. They closed out at 37.81, trading out at 34.19. What is the heck is going on there? They've got a company name change in Europe. That's not doing it. Their Q1 revenues were down. After March Madness? After everything else that's out there? How could that be when it comes to Domino's Pizza? Of course, I haven't ordered Domino's Pizza in what seems like forever. Folks, 877-927-6648. When we get back, we'll go see how these markets are going to pop. And they're not going to really pop or drop much when we get back. But we're going to go take a look at planetary indexes shortly after the market opens. We'll be right back.
It's always better when we're together.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've always thought about trying out his newsletter, Market Insights. Well, now is the perfect time. For a limited time only, when you sign up for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights, we'll send you a free copy of Tom O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. If you decide to cancel within the 2-week trial period, pay absolutely nothing, and keep Tom's book as a free gift from us. Tom sends out his daily newsletter each morning by 9:30 a.m. with trade recommendations, including price targets and price stops. As recently as March 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out a position for more than a 25% profit in just over 2 weeks. To get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights, along with your free copy of The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Supplies are limited for this one-of-a-kind special, so act today and don't let this opportunity pass you by. Offer only valid for new subscribers. In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and the Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
To the races, and out of the gate, falling behind slowly. You got the Dow down 8 points right now. S&P is flat. Up 1 penny. You got the composite flat. All right, down 7 pennies. And you've got the Russell 2000. Now, there you go. They're leading the pack. They are up 64 cents right now. So you talk about basically flat markets, and, I don't expect a lot of volume in the marketplace today as you have folks celebrating May Day around the world. I think we should celebrate, too, in one form or fashion. And, so don't expect we'll get some information out of the markets today, but it should be relatively light volume. Of course, we'll see. I don't need to do any prognostication. I'll just simply let the markets tell me what they're going to tell me. And as we said in the pre-market, you had PF Chang's. They are leading the charge on the way up $11.81 right now. You've got Medwest VAC, MWV. They're up $5.39. SourceFire, FIRE. That is one of the stocks inside the IBD. They're up $4.42. And Sears Holdings, SHLD. Say that 4 times fast, folks. And they're up 8%. They're up $4.30. ConocoPhillips, COP, they're down $15 right now, trading down 21%. You've got Domino's Pizza right behind them. The pepperoni pizza guys, maybe they just simply put too many pepperonis on their pizza with their net income being down, I believe, just a bit. And they are off $4.50. Arrow Electronics right behind them, ARW, the ticker symbol. Google at $3.13 off. And Pep Boys, PBY, they are down $3.38. You got Apple, though, trading up $4.50 right now. 877-927-6648. ConocoPhillips reflecting a company split. Thank you. In the den. You got to love having not just one wingman, but, just simply many, many wingmen on our shoulders here. And that's in the Tiger Den, folks. If you haven't had a chance to experience the Tiger Den, you should. I mean, you should make that a must. And, life is really about turning your shoulds into musts. So that is one of the shoulds that you should turn into a must. Now, since the markets are relatively flat, I do want to, live up to my promises here. And I'm going to show you some of the work that I have done on planetary indexes. We talked about it. As soon as I can find it here on my screen, I'm going to show it to you. So let's see here. Why is it not popping up here? Let's see. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to start with, folks, is first I talked yesterday about the ephemeris, the new American ephemeris. So if you're watching us on Tiger TV, the one that you would want to order, and I think it's like $20, $30, I do recommend that you have one. What you're looking for is the new American ephemeris, years 2007 to 2020. StarCraft Publishing is the company where you can get it from. Their phone number, 603-734-4300. You can, I don't get anything out of it. It's just simply, it's one of those books that I would want to make sure that I had in my arsenal. It's really broken into two sections here. This is the top half of this section that you're looking at, dealing with all of the most of the lunar activity that is out there. So if you want to understand all the moon phases and some other elements, but it's really the bottom section here that we're going to talk about. The bottom section, which is going to be called the Daily Aspectarian. And the Daily Aspectarian, what you're looking at here, this is one from, it could be a year ago or longer. What you're looking at is each day you have a certain number of planetary alignments. You've got major and minor alignments. We're really dealing with angles, nothing more than what we'll call sacred geometry, or just simply simple geometry that is out there. And so each day you have certain alignments that are going up, in the universe. And those, and those certainly have impacts. We know they have impacts. The moon, has an impact on the tides, but they're just simply impacts and energy that happen inside the universe. And so each day you have a list of the number of aspects. Now, they're abbreviated, and so you can get used to the symbols and what they mean. And it's very important to understand. Now, the work that Larry did and Dr. Ruth did, I know that Larry's spoken about it on his show, was they simply took the Daily Aspectarian and they just simply did some testing to understand, what the mean was. And basically, how many aspects occurred on each day on average. And when you were really outside the band of that average, using standard deviation work and so forth. But when you were really outside, when you really had an anomaly, was there an impact on the markets? And what you're always looking for, right? You're always looking for the Holy Grail. Well, I can teach about how to get the Holy Grail in trading, but you're always looking for a different indicator that's out there. Well, it just so happens that when you do have these anomalies, more often than not, and what's that percentage? It really depends on how far out, how unusual the number of aspects are that you have in the marketplace. Well, taking this data and just simply counting up each planetary alignment and coming up with a number, you can miss a few. And so what I did was I simply went out there and I paid a good amount of money to have the entire ephemeris, the entire Daily Aspectarian digitized for me. And so what I did was I decided I would grab a good sample size. Well, the sample size that I grabbed, folks, was 300 years, 300 years worth of data. Let me see if I can get this on the screen here. So I went and got 300 years worth of data. I guess I should look at this when I pull this open. It's actually the interpretation that this software does versus the one that I was actually using. So I have 300 years worth of data, and what I've done now, the original work that Larry didn't include 4 different planets, asteroids that are currently inside that new American ephemeris. So I've really broken this into 4 different columns that we have here. The first column, ET, stands for ephemeris time. And what I did was, the first set of columns that we're looking at here is all the original work that Larry did, that Dr. Ruth did. And what we're talking about here, folks, we're talking about 109, almost 110,000 days, 300 years, 1800 to 2100. I figure that's a pretty good sample size. And what you'll see is that 3 days during that 300-year period where you have 0 planetary alignments. That would be pretty unusual. So they do exist. I don't recall when the next one is. I don't know that it's in our lifetime. Of course, with today's technology, maybe that is not the case. 62 times, though, you'll have just simply 1 planetary alignment. Now, what we had occur last Wednesday was 3. Now, when you have 3 occur here on the work that was originally done, that happens 2,005 times out of 110,000. It's a little bit less than 2% of the time. Now, what we also had happen yesterday, what we also had happen last Monday was more powerful, in my opinion, and the reason is because we also had some lunar aspects tie into what was going on with regard to the planets out here. Yesterday, not the same case. So yesterday, not as powerful of a day. Now, the reason that I'm bringing this up here is I also went ahead, since I had digital information, I went ahead and converted it to Eastern Standard Time. Because the ephemeris time on Eastern Standard Time, you would basically subtract 5 hours now when we're in daylight savings time, 4 hours when we're off daylight savings time, if you're looking at the actual daily aspectarian, which has the exact time when a planet aligns. And you might be wondering, does that really matter? Well, there's a lunar phase out there that I teach my clients that absolutely it does matter, and you want to make sure that you're aware of it. But that's not what I'm talking about here today. What I am talking about is, since I had the digital data, I wanted to do some of my own testing. I wanted to say, well, what if we just simply looked in a 24-hour period of time and not just base it on ephemeris time? You see, you really couldn't do that if you had a manual daily aspectarian. You could do it, but it would be so tedious, it would take you so long that I wouldn't want to do it. So when I took all the original aspects out there and I backed them up to Eastern Standard Time, actually came up with a different set of numbers. So I'm aware of let's say, planetary index dates that also occur on Eastern Standard Time. Now, the daily aspectarian that I mentioned to you, the New American Ephemeris, 2007, 2020, is going to have all of the new aspects. So I also went ahead and did my analysis, taking all of the, so we're talking about, in addition to, the normal planets that are out there, all the new ones, Vesta, Ceres, I can't remember them all off the top of my head, two others that are out there. And so, folks, what you've got here is you'll see this third column, and I apologize, I didn't realize that the way that this software here was going to interpret it. The yellow areas are where I identify what I'm going to call, anomalies, because you can see here from 0 through 4, when you have days where there's 0 through 4 planets aligned, only occurs 1.64% over a 300-year period. Now, what we have coming up, and I mentioned this yesterday, what we have coming up this month, we're already in this month, we're already in May, is we have a 2 planetary index date. That's using the ephemeris time, the same standard that Larry, Dr. Ruth, and so forth did, and using all of the new planets that are in there, and only a 2 alignment, 67 in a 300-year period, 0.06%, folks, 0.06%. Also happens to be 2 on the basis that Dr. Ruth and Larry did as well. So what we have coming up, and when we have that coming, let me switch over to that, is actually May the 18th, I believe. So on May 18th, on May 18th, you've got a 2 planetary index date, something that happens 0.06% of the time. You see, what my newsletter subscribers get, each day is they get the current month, exactly how many aspects that are out there. I give them all the history as well. That way they're able to go ahead and maybe map it. If they trade commodities, futures, whatever, they can lay it over a chart. And they can understand, does this have a change in market trend? It always helps when you use this as a signal with the market moving either down or up. You see, you never know which way the market is going to go. That's one thing when we trade. That's why we use stops. That's why we use average true ranges. That's why we use money management, because even when we enter a trade, just because if something hit a swing point on light volume doesn't mean that it's going to stop there. Anything can happen. And you have to prepare for those things that you can control, and the only thing you can control is your money management. Well, what I have learned in taking a look at the way that these aspects, I don't get too caught up into just because it's 2, it means that the market should be either powering up or powering down. What I take a look at it is, from a timing standpoint, is this likely to be a market change? And what you want to be able to do is, what you'd love to see happen is you'd love to see some type of pattern. It could be an A to B equals CD pattern. It could be just simply a retracement to a 0.618, a 0.786, or something like that. But you'd like to see, or just simply the market moving up or down into that date. And then you just wait for a little confirmation. How about either the next candle or whatever it might be, folks? You want to wait for a confirmation that, in fact, you're going to see a change in trend. When we switch back over to the charts, you're absolutely going to see that. So you've got a 2 planetary index date that is out there, and that is coming up here on May the 18th. You're also going to see here, using the ephemeris time, using the old aspects, that what you also have on May 22nd, folks, you also have a 3P index date. So we've got them real close to each other. You've got one on a Friday. You've got one on a Tuesday. You know, it promises to be, I would think, a relatively spectacular weekend or time period where the market should be making either a high or a low, and likely very significant. Now, here's the deal. With only 67 aspects that actually occur, in the, if we go back to, if I could switch back here, with only 67 of them over a 300-year period of time, I really can't plot that many, even on the Dow chart. I've got the data going back to 1927 to give you any real certainty. You know, and I know that you like certainty, just like everybody likes certainty, any real certainty that there's going to be a market change. But, folks, this is an anomaly. Maybe it's not even going to be something that happens in the market. Maybe it is someplace else. But you just simply want to be aware of that time period, in my opinion, between May 18th and May the 22nd. Now, what you also happen to have right around May 18th, I believe we have a couple of other lunar aspects that are occurring. And just simply, if I come back and I just go to the S&P 500, let's just go take a look at that actual index. If I can put that up here. So we're going to take a look at the S&P 500. Well, the last time that we had that 3 planetary index date happened to be the day that the market moved down, April 23rd. That was was that last Monday? Date-wise, last Monday or Tuesday? Let me see here. I can tell you for sure. Yeah, it was last Monday. Of course it was last Monday. Because on Saturday, we had, I believe we might have had apogee or perigee, and then on Sunday, we had the new moon. Or those two could have been reversed. And then we came into a 3 planetary index date, and the market moved down. You know, where the market moved down to, folks, all it did was it moved down, and it tested the low of the May 2nd high. That May 2nd high that of 2011 happens to be, I got to now be careful about May 2nd because that's tomorrow. But the low of that May 2nd high happened to be 13, let me make sure I get the right amount here, 1358.59. What's pretty, I guess it was right in front of me all the time. What is pretty unusual is the exact low, did I say exact low? Well, the exact low, folks, actually came out to be 1358.79. I have 59 here. Let me see, was it 59 or 79 going back to the actual low out there? It was 59. How do you like that? Within 20 cents. And that, so what stopped it? The way that the planets align, the way that you had the lunar aspects pulling back into that date, which also happened to be a swing point low, and that held. And so when you take a look at that, it is amazing how this stuff works out there. How it works, why it works, I don't know. What you just simply want to do is you want to be aware of it, folks. If you'd like more information on this, there is plenty of other information contained in my newsletter services. You can try it out for 30 days for free. You're just simply putting down a deposit, $149 deposit, or even less if you've got Tiger dollars out there to get a world, and I do mean a world of education, folks, and tools that you just simply want to be able to have inside your toolbox. Okay, so that's enough about that. We'll spend some more time on the markets. Right now, you've got the Dow trading down 15 points, the S&P's flat as can be, as you can see, even by just simply the candle formation that is on my screen here right now. You've got the composite up 3, Apple up $7. Maybe we'll go take a look at Apple. Sears Holdings, let's take a look at Sears Holdings, see what they're doing out there. And Domino's Pizza. Let's go order a early morning pepperoni pizza. Maybe some of you eat cold pizza out of the refrigerator. Not me. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments. And whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry, or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is better when we're together. Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Now, I do happen to have the futures up on my screen here, the daily futures contract. In the upper left-hand corner, you're looking at the S&P, the ES Mini. The upper right-hand corner, the NASDAQ futures, the NQ. Lower left is the Russell 2000 TF and the Dow futures, YM in the bottom right. Now, the reason why I've got that up here is, it is important. You've heard the phrase, sell in May, go away, come back, maybe in April. Of course, you want to pay attention to the markets because you might want to come back in June or July. You just simply want to play the patterns that are out there. Now, what you are taking a look at, and yesterday were some signals that came out there, and those were Steve's Bearish Engulfing Candles. And when you take a look at the ES Mini here, as the market was moving up yesterday, you had a bearish engulfing candle. So today's close is going to be very important. Very important to pay attention to that. If you take a look at the NASDAQ futures really setting the move off to the downside with the bearish engulfing candle that it created on April the 2nd out there. Well, you had another one show up last night after a move up. You had a bearish engulfing candle on the NASDAQ futures. Same thing on the Dow. After having a little Rick's Doji candle yesterday inside the Dow, you also had in the Dow futures contract, you had a bearish engulfing candle. You didn't have that in the Russell 2000, but you got 3 out of 4 out there. And so pay attention to today's market close. It should be sending out an important signal to the market, to each of us. Now, one of the things that, I had the privilege of doing was traveling around, the country doing a master trader course. And one of the things that was a common thing that was asked during the course was just simply, Steve, was there a way, they wished, the folks that attended wished that we could have simply taped it, just simply so that they could go back and they could take a look at it. So we're going to do one thing better than that. We're actually going to have a live online master trader course. It's going to be a one-day. What I had done just recently is I had been doing 2-day courses, both Friday and Saturday. I'm going to narrow the content of that information down into 1 day live. That way I don't have to travel around the country, or you don't have to travel to us. And that way all the folks that did attend the master trader course, they're going to have something they can archive, that they can go back to. Because I know, even for myself, you learn so much when you attend a workshop. It's nice to be able to go back and have a visual and be able to see that. So it's May 18th. That means it's going to be 3 Fridays from now. It's going to be, live. I'll be doing it live. It'll be archived. It'll be on your members page. And also, it's going to include 1 month of my newsletter. Now, there's a special introductory price that's being offered. Regularly, it's priced at $795. We're giving off $200 for everyone that signs up between now and May the 10th, I believe it is. So today's May Day. You got 10 days. No reason to sit on it. And so go over to the homepage at tfnn.com. $595, folks. Plus, it includes the newsletter. So you're really bringing the price down, I don't know, about $450 for, what's going to amount to lessons. These are going to be, this, folks, I talked about it, wear, a necklace around my neck, that says live with passion. I am absolutely passionate about what it is that I'm going to teach you. It is truly about being able to narrow down the best of the best. It is using, and the primary focus of this is going to be how to buy and sell the D-leg. I'm going to teach you to become an expert of that C to D-leg. And so I couldn't be more passionate about being able to do that, put together the right money management strategies that are in place. And so do yourself, give yourself the biggest gift that you can. If you are trying to find a way to take yourself from wherever you're at, and you want to learn what I believe is the absolute best trading pattern that is out there, and we combine that with the money management, go to the homepage at tfnn.com. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do it right now, or if you're driving around, do it as soon as you get to the office. Sign up for it. You'll see all the details on the homepage at tfnn.com. Stay tuned. Tom and I are coming up next for the Money Masters. Then we go to Kate Stalter in Santa Fe, up to Chicago to Victor Jones, back out to California from 3 to 4, and then back here for 4 to 6, the Tom O'Brien Show. Have a great Tuesday, folks, and I'll look forward to seeing you, maybe in just a few minutes. Be right back.